In 1983, Talisman the board game came out. It was a huge success. I really enjoyed playing it when I got my hands on it. 30 years later, we have Talisman the Horus Heresy. This is a move from an actual physical board game to a digital version of that board game. They have slapped a new theme over the top of it, but it is basically that old board game with just a couple of minor tweaks. So let's take a look. So it's a 4-player situation, 3 other players. I'm going to be this one at the top. So the original board game had a very detailed board, 3 concentric rings. Each space in there was, or contained rather, detailed art which matched the theme of that location on the board. And you can see here immediately there's nothing on the board. It's just blank spaces with pictures behind. So here's your first choice. Choosing a theme, so let's just grab this first one. Take a stratagem. Well, what are my options? I have this stratagem. Okay, so I'll just click the button. I shall now roll the dice. So I rolled a 6, which means I can move 6 spaces to here, or I can move around to here. So if I click on the space, you get some details of it. So I'm going to draw 1 card here, or over here, draw 1 card, or if I cross over to here, Eye of Terror doesn't sound good, does it? I can draw 2 cards. Well, I would go into the inner circle, but I'm not sure I'm able to get out, so I'll stick with the outside. So I get to now travel here. And here goes my bust, my holographic bust. So, oh right, investigate the sector means click here. Okay, so this is the card that's been drawn for this space, and it's equipment. I can add to my +1 to my close combat. Okay, we'll continue and we'll encounter this card. Okay, and I can take or leave it. Well, I'll take it because it makes my combat better. Right, so that's the end of my turn. We're now watching the computer play. The computer AI is set up to play at speed 10. By default it runs at speed 3, so this whole animation, if you like, runs really slowly. You have to speed it up. And frankly, I've got no input on any of this. I'm just sitting here waiting for it to finish so I can have my turn. You see, I'd really hoped to see space fleets moving across the board, or even just a single, space marine stomping his way from one location to another. All we've got is a wishy-washy holographic bust that's not animated and doesn't walk, it slides. So here's my exciting turn. I roll the die. Okay, so I can come over here, here, or here. So what's here? Garrison, resolve to 1 resource each, yeah. Or a massacre, lose 1 resolve. Well, that sounds bad. Over here, gain a resolve or roll a die under combat. Do you know, I think this might be worth trying now. Let's try this. Okay, incoming multiple encounters. 2 data slates. Okay. Right. Do you see my confusion here? I can roll 1 die. Yeah, okay. So I'm just reading up here. There's nothing active up here. Or I can access 2 data slates. But incoming... If I click here, what happens? Or what if I click here? What am I even looking at? I'm clicking on it. It's not doing anything. And I can use close combat or ranged combat. For what? What exactly? Okay, ranged combat. So I get to click the roll die button now. And I got a crap roll. I can re-roll it. I can spend one of my stats over here on the left. Is it this strategy? No, I think it might be this top one. Resolve. Yeah, so I can spend a resolve to re-roll it. Yeah. Exciting stuff. Continue. I've lost a resolve. Well, that was quite an exciting turn. Thrilled by the options and the choices I had. And I still haven't seen a proper data slate. I haven't seen any decent artwork on any of the cards yet. So 2 enemies are fighting each other. Fine. Nothing to do with me, but I've still got to sit through the animation. I guess if you were playing this online and had Discord running, you could be chatting to the other players, which might add something to the game. Thrilling. Here we go. Roll a die. Wow, look, I've got 4 spaces I can go to. 2 data slates, 2 data slates, 2 data slates, 2 data slates. Thrilling. Let's try this one. Travel here. Well, what's happening? I haven't travelled. I'm rolling a combat apparently. Crap roll again. Reroll. I'm effectively losing life points each time I re-roll. And you notice how the numbers stayed the same again? Crap. Thrilling turn. Thrilling. It doesn't get better. What they've done is they've taken a 30-year-old board game that had all the bad board game tropes. Missing turns, which is not interesting. Rolling a die and having a choice of 2 locations to go to is about as much choice as you get in this game. If an opponent happens to be on one of the 2 spaces you can get to, you can fight them if you want. But again, like the original game, this has no effect. You don't eliminate them from the game. You don't make yourself closer to winning, because the only way to win the game is to get to the middle. So if you kill a player, they just come back as a new character. So there's no point in doing it. The board is boring. Your piece, your character is boring. The gameplay is just working out which item to click on, which button you need to click. That's it. It's dire. This is the worst type of implementation of a board game in a digital form. There are other Games Workshop games that would suffer from the same sort of ploy or problem. There was a game called Chainsaw Warrior, which was a solitaire game. But again, there was no real choice in it. It was just a case of rolling the dice. And those do not translate well to digital versions. I think I paid £2 £30 for this game. It was not worth it. There is zero fun in this game. Not worth a penny.